You're tuned into Soul Fusion Cafe, your place for radiant wellness and soul-forward living. Join your host, Jess Juntunen, quantum healer, intuitive, and midwife to the awakening spirit, as we dive into quantum tools, wisdom teachings, and integrated healing pathways for transformation. You can live a life of freedom to be without limitation. Cozy up, grab your tea, and enjoy this hour of expansion, wisdom, and love. Hello and welcome to Soul Fusion Cafe. I am Jess Juntunen, your host. And every week we are discussing and diving into topics that really speak to leading a soul-forward life. How to live from the truth of who we are, our authentic nature. And I myself am an Avesa medical intuitive and energy healer and midwife to the awakening spirit. And my passion really is about bringing unconditional love to the self, awakening the divine feminine within, and healing areas and wounds that are related to our separation from the divine feminine, separation from source, and really helping and supporting women and others to heal issues in worthiness and the ability to, teaching those of us that are wanting this to be open to our healing capacity that we have within, and to go within to really create the world we want to see outside of us, to really master our own path of awakening. So this week, really what I want to explore and dive into is living life as meditation. And this is something I've been practicing in different ways throughout my journey of teaching and awakening and stepping into my mastery. And it kind of has come front and center again. In part, it's the Bhagavad Gita. I've been studying and learning more about that with my mentor and teacher, Kira Ra. And it has really opened up some more of those thoughts about how our life is meditation, because in the Gita there really is instructions for living an ascended life, for living a life of freedom and bringing the spirit into our experience here on earth. And that meditation really is our life, that our life can be a meditation, that our life is meditation. If we choose to engage with it that way, it really becomes so much more of a dance and so much more creative. And then it also really came to me, as I'm deepening my own connection with the divine feminine and the goddess evermore, that, we can really see and feel that we are the divine in action, that we are the embodiment of the goddess, and that we have that ability to tap into the meditation energy by going within and feeling within and seeing our body and our life and our everyday actions as our initiation, as our meditation, as our ceremony. Every moment can be like a ceremony. So today, exploring ways to do that, as well as stay tuned for later, including a beautiful meditation I've been called to put together that really is about connecting to the love that we are and expanding that. And I really want to offer that as a gift, because it seems like we are all needing to continually have that dose of connection to our unconditional love that we are, and we have to remind ourselves of that often. It can become really easy to forget that or fall into old patterns, or maybe we haven't even remembered it yet, that we are love. It can be quite a struggle on planet Earth before we connect to the energy within us that is the unconditional divine love that we all are. It's, and there's a lot of energy out there that can seek to throw us off that and would enjoy it very much if we would just forget and go and spiral down into emotions of shame and anger and fear. And it's important that we work through those emotions, but staying stuck in them makes it so hard to lift our energy and feel the connection to the divine. And to heal within, we really need to go within and allow ourselves to have the permission and love all those emotions and feelings, not try to shove them away, but to really love them in order to awaken to our greater essence, our source. So before we dive in a little more fully, I just want to take a moment to thank Oneness Talk Radio, where this show broadcasts and premieres. Its live time is on Sundays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's also always posted to the YouTube channel over at Oneness Talk Radio. So catching it there. Also archives can be found at Oneness Talk Radio or at my website, selfascensionstudios.com. And I really just do bow and thank the producers and my mentors and teachers and co-creators, Shri and Kira Ra, for helping to birth Oneness Talk Radio. It really was them that birthed this. And there's a whole lot of amazing healers and speakers and presenters and shows and topics being covered by a wide variety of talented hosts. So there's a really positive portal of connection there. And there's something very special about having a place like that. All voices matter. And there's so many beautiful perspectives. You can always turn it on and be inspired by talk radio or music. Something that will definitely lift the spirit, because we need more of that. And together we are better, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this community and team and to be sharing with you here today. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you being here. So diving into our life as meditation. Meditation is our life. And this is something I get a lot of questions about quite often when I'm teaching people in workshops and even one-on-one sessions. People want to know about meditation and how to meditate. And, there's not one answer to this. You could ask anybody that you think knows anything about meditation or any expert in the field of meditation, and you're going to get different answers for what that means. But it's very individual. That's the thing. But at its core, meditation is really about walking in our authentic self, to flow and be in our real, true self. And that's kind of the goal. It's a practice that brings us within so that the mind becomes, as it's described in the Bhagavad Gita so beautifully, one-pointed. So the mind is just very focused on the divine, is very much just in one place, rather than think about how our mind is all day long. That term monkey mind, you might have heard. And monkey mind means what it sounds like, right? There's like a little monkey jumping around and swinging around in the brain from thought to thought to thought to thought to thought, right? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. I can hear some of you laughing, even though we're connecting in this way. I feel it because, right? How many of us feel this? Oh my goodness. It can just go from one thing to the next until, it ends in some sort of stress or disaster scenario in our head, or we're just worrying over and over things, or just thinking at random. And meditation really brings us into the still center of who we are, and the mind is just a part of who we are. It's just gotten so amplified over the years on this planet that it thinks it really is the best thing ever, and it's the only thing. And the mind is amazing. It is a tool, though. So the practice of meditating really is about quieting the mind and finding the self, and that's how the science of meditation really started to become a science. If you look back in ancient India or other cultures where people were experimenting, not experimenting, but really getting curious about trying to explain meditation and how it works and how it benefits us and how it's part of a spiritual practice. However, meditation can really move out of a more formal feeling into anything. So when people ask this, everything is a meditation. Think about washing your dishes as a meditation. How much different would it be to approach washing your dishes as an act of meditation and love? And really my key is to hold the love energy to ourselves and to step into that love energy in whatever we're doing as a meditation. Does this feel like love? Am I being very present in the moment? Am I being very grateful for the water I have for washing my dishes? Am I very grateful for being able to eat the foods that got these dishes dirty? Am I able to be really thankful for the fact that my hands are working and I'm able to wash them and that I have the dishes? Do I feel the water and see the bubbles and feel like a playfulness or a sense of peace while I'm doing this task? And that's just one example, but I always like dishwashing examples because it's so universal. We all need to wash our dishes or our clothes. And for a lot of the world, running water is still a luxury, and it really is. And those of us that have it on the regular can sometimes forget that, wow, what a luxury it is, until something happens and we don't have it, right? We had a boil water advisory for a few days, a couple weeks back, and it really got to me even for a moment. It's easy for sometimes things to get to us, right? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to boil all this water. I can't wash my dishes with it in case it's contaminated, but we didn't even really know if it was. But the act of having to boil the water for everything and wash the dishes really brought back that gratitude for clean running water, which many don't have access to. Many do not. And it can be so easy for us to, we're always meditating. Like, what are you meditating on is the question. Are you meditating on worry and stress? Where's the money going to come from? What am I doing? What is my purpose? I don't like this and I don't like that. We're very sure about what we don't like and how we don't want to feel. And are we meditating on those things and increasing their potency? Or are we meditating on what we want to feel connection with? And so anything really is a meditation. Walking and really connecting and being present with the earth, being really present with our life, being really present with our words, our thoughts, our actions. So a meditation practice that is really intentional can help facilitate the meditation of our life, the feeling of meditating through no matter what is present. So really considering, wow, how is my life like a meditation, and how am I cultivating the love? And, the things that try to take us away from it are really serving us to get more clear on what we do want. So there are plenty of distractions. Are we numbing? Are we sitting on the couch and surfing Netflix or scrolling on our phone? That's like a hypnosis, right? We're not connected to our source at all. We're being hypnotized by density, right? We're just going straight to sleep. So where are you in the act of conscious love, the act of conscious meditation with the divine? And where are you disconnecting? And just being honest and transparent with ourselves. Because if we really truly want to be able to unconditionally love ourselves and come back to our state of presence, source, love, then we need to just really be transparent and honest with ourselves about where we're not doing that. We are disconnected, and it takes work to be disconnected. This is something that's kind of come full circle for me too, is, sometimes we can get that tendency to say, oh, I've been working so hard on my spiritual growth. I've been working so hard on keeping my head above water. I've been working so hard at work, working so hard being a parent. I'm just going to take a break, right? I'm going to sit down and zone out or tap out. I'm not going to stay connected. I'm going to distract myself in some way, whatever your favorite way is. Could be food, people, TV, all those things that pull us away. And of course, some of those things could be what helps us connect. But, what is your way of disconnecting? Sometimes we go around people that help remind us of who we feel we are, because there's always an uplifting, joyful feeling when we do that. Or are we simply going and hanging around with people that we habitually hang out with, but don't remind us of our divine spark? Maybe there's a lot of, gossip or that kind of partner in pain energy. This is something my teacher Sri Ramka and Kira Ra talk about. And partners in pain is a really common phenomenon that we all go through. We seek, others at certain points in our journey that are in alignment with us. And as we lift and we ascend and we come to know ourselves more deeply and come into love, we start to realize that maybe some of those relationships we had no longer serve us the same way, because they might be a partner in pain relationship, as in the people in that situation are, always complaining about, oh, it's so cold. Oh my gosh, did you see the news? Oh, I can't believe so-and-so said this or did that. There's a lot of drama going on. Even if it's not overt, there's just like that sense of fascination with what's going wrong or what's not feeling good. And they're kind of like this validating circle where it's like, yeah, you don't feel good either, me either. And everyone kind of just reassures each other to stay stuck where they are. And for sure it's a partner's in pain if you start to shift, grow, or awaken, and you begin to do your own thing and you don't respond maybe to the negative conversation or discussion. You maybe just sit quietly and observe, or you, maybe you even say, oh, I just don't feel like this, talking about that. I'd like to talk about something positive. You're going to get some really weird looks, right? Or if you're just not joining in, there'll be like that energy of the others to try to get you to join in. They'll want you to be in that place, because the partners of pain really strengthens the ego. It strengthens our shadows. It strengthens the parts of us that are disconnected from our empowerment. Because partners in pain are saying, I'm in so much pain, I don't have control over my life. I've given my power away. I'm not empowered. So that's one, thing that can start changing when you're on a spiritual path, whatever that spiritual path is. I primarily follow like the path of self-ascension, which is non-dogmatic and just transcends all religions. It really has at its core coming home to ourself, authenticity, living in the heart, lifting from the heart to be able to connect to universal wisdom, divine love, and remember that we're a multidimensional being having a human experience. And I also am informed by the energy of the divine feminine embodied through the earth and our own bodies, and how we can come home to ourselves through that pathway of learning to really be with ourselves and our feelings, our emotions, our body, and love ourselves, so that we can ascend into our divine feminine nature, so we can lift into and be who we are and not be pulled down. But it's more of like a going within and really honoring all parts of ourself. So, both pathways and perspectives really work together and are really much the same thing, but they feel like they really fit together because we have the divine feminine and divine masculine balancing energies and present of being nurturing and creating while taking a passionate action and moving forward with our gifts. And meditation, our life is a meditation. It's as we were talking about the people that we're around, where we're choosing to put our energy, what helps us stay in the energy of the divine, what helps us keep our eyes on the divine at all times. That is an Archangel Zadkiel quote. Keep your eyes on the divine at all times, right? Because that's the meditation, is to remember the divine at every moment during the mundane tasks, like the laundry, like the dishes, like going and picking out the groceries or food, or if, doing the labor of love, harvesting your food, creating your food, all of those things, to really be present to the divine in all those moments. See where the connection is. You can see when we read a book that there is the paper, and you can feel the paper is created by these trees, which was created by all the elements that needed the sun, the rain, the clouds that passed over the sun while that tree grew. It's all encoded into that tree that became that paper that the words are written upon, so that we're connected. So going with like one mundane household object and really feeling into where its creation birthed from, and you can feel and go all the way back to that connection with the earth and others that helped create this, and then you think about all the beings that brought it into form and blessing every single one of them. And anything that tries to knock you off of your presence, anything that tries to take you away from the truth of who you are, is really that density experience and energy that would like you to not view your life as a meditation on the love that you are. It would like you to be in a meditation of the fear. It would like you to be in the hypnosis, and that becomes a hypnosis. But you can really meditate on like, oh my gosh, so much is going wrong. There are things to be afraid of. There are things on this planet that are terrible. What's going to happen? What's going to happen for our children? Yes, these are things to definitely be concerned about, and really take these things and turn them around so that they become your why. Why are you meditating on the love? It's your response to seeing and feeling and experiencing those things on the planet that are trying to derail love, that are trying to keep the fear, anger, and hate going. So it is really a calling to say, wow, I need to really bring forward the love, because that's what I want to see on the planet. What is your vision for the planet when it is healed and free of those chaotic, lower dimensional elements and they really always boil down to fear and hate and guilt and grief and shame and anger. They are all feelings we will all experience, but when we are living them as our meditation, they just lead to, right? People organizing against each other, groups organizing against each other, and a lot of blame, a lot of drama, a lot of the victim triangle. Someone has to be the victim, someone has to be the persecutor, someone has to be the rescuer, and the roles can change around, and it's the dynamic of this realm. It's the dynamic of density of Earth for quite some time. And so there's plenty of that, and it really would love to stop you. There's a lot of energies that would love to stop you because it's so uncomfortable for them to think of a change, to think that there could be a change. It's not empowerment, but there's power, and it's a dynamic of power over others, and scarcity, thinking there's not enough and there's only so much to go around, and a lot of belief systems at play that would seek to stop you. And there is interference energy and projections being thrown out that would seek to stop you. So it's like seeing all of that is an invitation really to say, oh my gosh, I need to really step up my work, right? I need to step up why I'm here. If you're listening to this and you have a passion and a vision for what you want to see in the world, do that. Love that. Be what you seek. So it's a call right now. It's like a call to arms. And is your meditation about creating a thriving business that serves people in the world? Is it about having a healing practice? Is it about being an amazing parent? Is it about being an amazing daughter of the earth? Is it about being an amazing sister or brother? Is it about caring for animals? What lights your heart up? What is your mission and service? And that's a key to your meditation. That's what you meditate on. That's what you feel into when you want to tap into the energy of creation and love and a vision for this planet, and live your life that way, meditating on that which you're creating and birthing into the world, and feeling your body. Your body is a meditation. Your body embodying all the elements of this beautiful earth and all of the emotions and physicality and expression. You are a creative expression of matter and form. How are you using it? Are you standing straight and smiling and radiating? Is that your meditation in the moment? It can be taken into every activity you do. And I was really called to share this. And this is something that is for the whole planet. This is a message that was delivered on 9/22/2019 at the time of the equinox. It was in Ecuador, South America. And this message came through Lady Master Kira Ra, who is an amazing angelic oracle, but also she's so many things. She's so much. And she's a channel, really, and in souls, sincerely, in souls, messages from ascended masters and beings that are here to support and help us. And this message came through the divine directors, a group of beings that are supporting us all now. And I really feel that this message is being asked to be read, and it is asked to be shared freely. So I know I can share this here. So this is a meditation in itself, to just take this in and really feel this moment and this gift. This message is from the divine directors. Imagine a world where with every breath and in every moment you only saw each being as the highest potential of their being for this lifetime. Then notice you've already activated your star consciousness and have transcended the third dimension without the need for conscious thought. Now, what does your life look like? What are you doing? Who are you with? Where are you living? What do you look like? What are you wearing? How do you feel? Then notice that you are noticing and have already activated the lift from the fifth dimension into the seventh. Here you are floating and aware that you are without any judgment, melted into a sea of compassionate lift from the fifth dimensional highway of experience. You've arrived at the seventh dimensional gateway. Discovering that a door does not exist, for you can only open this experience through the release of judgment and the recognition of the divine perfection of the weaving of energies through the complexity of space and time and co-creation. Here the vastness of the journey unfolds, and there is a moment where your conscious breath calls you through the recognition that the body is not breathing. You therefore are called to instinctively pay attention to that which has just come forward. This is the moment of divine awareness and the opportunity to experience the vastness as a witnesser of the fifth dimension, witnessing itself as the seventh dimension. You arrive again as a witness, now fully choosing to enter the ninth dimension. For to say yes to this resurrected presence is to fully release all the attachments, constraints, and needs of the third dimension. Fully anchored in the compassion of the fifth dimension supports staying in a body of form without decay for as long as the experience serves with compassion. Go deeper with this. Study this daily, print this, and share it freely. For all who are ready already are waking. May they find their way, and may all anchor the compassion of this moment. Breathe that in. That's really profound. I'm spinny. I'm feeling very multidimensional from sharing it and going into that space. And if you do want to print this out, I do suggest printing it and posting it and reading it daily. And you can find it, the PDF, at www.shriankira.com. And again, yeah, they say to print and share freely, right? Connect with this. There's so much richness in this message, and a lot of it's about ascending into this multidimensional presence, the fifth, the seventh, the ninth. But that piece that's saying, if we can fully anchor in the compassion of the fifth dimension, it supports us staying in the body of form without decay for as long as the experience serves the compassion. Isn't that profound, to stay in the fifth dimension? So the fifth dimension, if you do not have a clue what I'm talking about, or different dimensions, we're these multidimensional beings. We are in the third dimension here on Earth. Our body is, our thoughts are, our mind, but we're also connected to these other dimensions. The fifth is the energy of compassion and love. And that's a lot of what we've been talking about today, is meditating on the compassion and love that we are. And choosing that, as our meditation and experience, the unconditional love. In whatever way that makes sense to you. But here it's saying, activating your star consciousness, and notice you can transcend the need for any conscious thought. That's the other thing, is thoughts start to slow down and leave, or become very one-pointed, just focusing on the divine while we are lifting. So when we lift from the fifth dimension into like the seventh, we're going into a complete no judgment zone, no judgment for anything. And the third dimension, our thoughts, there's always judgment. We're judging ourselves when we say, oh, I should be doing this, or I need to do that, or I shouldn't have said such and such. Those are judgments, right? Or an expectation that things should have to look or be a certain way can be a judgment. So judgments can be sneaky. They can be different than just what we typically think of, like judging somebody for their looks or who they are, which of course, that's extremely lower 3D energy, but there's, sorry, losing my train of thought, but there are those other judgments that we have that can really be sneaky and pull us away. And I love how this ensoulment opens, imagine a world where every breath and in every moment you only saw each being as the highest potential of their being for this lifetime. Imagine if that was the meditation of all your interactions, was just seeing each being as the highest potential of their being in this lifetime. Imagine how the perspective changes and how your energy changes when you come from that space, rather than judging what others are doing with their life. And maybe their highest potential for this life is not what you think it should be or needs to be. The trick is to really transcend the judgment. So we lift into the fifth dimension by breathing and connecting to our heart and connecting to unconditional love. And as we breathe and we really feel ourselves lifting, and you can do that just by listening back to this recording or seeing this PDF, it will just bring you into the fifth dimension. But if you want to do it as like a meditation practice, sitting or lying comfortably, you are breathing, closing your eyes, and imagining as if you are lifting from your heart. You can bring your hands to your heart and take a few conscious breaths and see yourself and your body with love and compassion. And you're in the fifth dimension when you're able to see yourself with your eyes closed, but it's like you're gazing at yourself, you're gazing at your life, you're gazing at all the experiences, and you're feeling a sense of love and compassion for yourself. That is so available right now. So having meditation be your life, like the theme of the show, is to really have that unconditional love, which is the compassion for everything. If that can be where we rest our energy, magic and miracles happen, whatever words you want to use. But those are the words of like, things happen, synchronicities happen, events line up, the resources show up, the people show up. Things are in flow when we're in that state. When things aren't flowing, when it feels too hard, or like we're efforting or trying too hard, we're disconnected from that source. So the meditation is about being connected to our source, love, compassion. Our source is that. That is what source is made up of, whatever path you're following, And as I think about like the goddess path and divine feminine awakening through our connection to our body and that experience, that can also provide the way for us to go deeply within and discover the compassion and love, and really love our experience by loving our body, by thanking it for everything it has done, for loving the earth and thanking the earth from which we have come. And the earth is the ultimate embodiment of the divine feminine in action. She is creation and destruction. She is all of this, and she is birthing constantly. Is she not? Just as we are part of her, and we're all part of this grander creation and cosmic connection and dance of love. So I think there's just so many beautiful ways that this can weave, and I also really love Yeshua and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and those divine feminine energies of Christ consciousness. And I think that, you can see that pathway in that too, the compassion and love. And I think in all traditions, there's this seed of compassion and love at the center of all traditions that have sprung up around the planet, whatever you're following. So is that where you want to put your meditation? That's where you want to put your focus. And whatever flavor or way or pathway it is for you, do it though. Like, be committed and say yes. Like, I'm going to say yes to this path. This is my path. These are my gifts, and this is what I'm sharing on the planet at this time. So really inviting you to go a little deeper with all that if you want. Re-listen to this. You can catch it at the archives at selfascensionstudios.com or Oneness Talk Radio. If you're just tuning in now, this is Jess Juntunen with Soul Fusion Cafe, and we're talking about living our life as a meditation today. And speaking of, I'm going to bring us into a meditation right now. And this meditation is about love, connecting with the love that we are. And I'm inviting you, if you're in a safe place to do so, to sit or lie down with your spine straight. If you're driving or doing something like that, don't do this meditation fully right now. Come back to it. And yeah, get cozy. And I will be honored to bring you through this beautiful moment. Thank you. Begin by breathing, connecting with your breath as it travels in and out. Connecting with your beautiful breath, feeling around you, noticing the sensations on your skin, closing your eyes, feeling the heartbeat, bringing a hand to heart and connecting there. Feeling the sacred heartbeat. Bump, 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 bump. The sacred sound that is primal within us all. The first sounds that we heard and heard continuously when we developed. The sound and the whoosh of the heartbeat and blood of our mother traveling through her body. And we're connecting to that deep, primal heartbeat. Dun, 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 dun. And as we do, we realize the energy of Ave that is contained within the heartbeat. Ave, 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 Ave. The Ave is the hail to, the bowing before, the reverence of the empowerment that is within. And we connect to the breath. Sa. The breath, the sa, the empowerment. Ave Sa. Connecting with the heart, connecting with the breath. Inhaling Ave, exhaling Sa. Inhaling Ave, exhale Sa. Inhale Sa. And continue to feel your heart and feel the love within. This love that is expanding and growing. This love expands and grows, becoming part of your entire being. You're filling this beautiful space around you. Maybe you're imagining there's a circle drawn around you. Maybe you're imagining you're in a beautiful nature place and you've drawn a circle in the dirt. And that space is filling with love. That energy of love is pillowing you, cozy. And you're drawing it inside of you. And you never deplete the love that's there as you draw the love in with your breath. It's infinite and never ending, so that you continue to be surrounded by the love and you're filled with the love. And you're vibrating with the love in your cells, your tissues, into the marrow of your bones. The love is permeating you and radiating. You are love. And saying inwardly, I am love. I am love. I am love. And as you are completely filled with that love, seeing and feeling the vibration you are a beam of glorious light, part of all of this collection of all the beams of light, of oneness, an expression of the allness in your unique way, all resonating the energy of love like a chord. We all play our individual notes and we become this beautiful chord of love, each of us in our own way, expressing the love of the oneness. And you're feeling yourself channeling that love. You are the hollow bone, you are the channel, you are the vessel. So as the love is coming into you and is you, you're passing it on and contributing to the robustness of the field of love that is all around. So your love is going out and out and out like ripples, touching every being on this planet, every being in the cosmos, the body, the earth, all brothers and sisters who are seeking to find the love that they are. And you are feeling compassion and love for every living being. And you connect to your breath again and the pulse of the heartbeat. Ave, 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 Ave. Feeling the bliss, the love, and the peace. And holding great gratitude for this moment, right now. And so it is. We are complete with this beautiful meditation on love. Thank you for taking that moment, or for tuning into it just enough if you couldn't go all the way fully into it, and knowing you can come back and listen to this recording at any time. It is so important that we connect to that unconditional, compassionate love energy that exists all around us and that is inside of us. We're just needing to remember it. And it's important that we act and pass that love on outside of us. So our life as a meditation really is about embodying the love, being it, dance it, sing it, walk it, wash the dishes to it. Be the truth of who you really are. And we're coming into the final stretches of our show today. I really want to thank you and invite you to start thinking about, what does my life look and feel like when everything is in flow? You know, going back to that message from the divine directors we read earlier, how can I connect with the vision of who I am? What do I look like? What am I doing? who am I with? Where am I living? What do I wear? How do I feel when I am beyond the third dimension? I'm not in the meditation of worry. I'm in the meditation of connection. What does my life get to look like and be like? And really embodying that and floating into that sea of the compassionate lift in the fifth dimension. And really feeling ourselves floating there. And really seeing that connection is so important to others and our planet and all beings, as we did in the meditation. To see with love no matter what, because some are very, very committed and stuck in their hypnosis, the hypnosis meditation of drama and fear and anxiety. But from that state of compassion, we forgive them and have mercy on them, just as we must on ourselves, because we all have to go through this journey. And there's a lot of forgetfulness. And we're all trying to remember our way home. And all beings are remembering their way in their own individual time, place, and what serves their path. A soul has an infinite amount of time, and all that is existent is this moment. So while it can be perceived to be a long journey and many lifetimes for a being to awaken to the love they are, it's all happening in one instant. So keep your eyes on the divine at all time. May that be your meditation. May you be able to bring that to your day in many ways. I do suggest having some kind of practice, that works for you, that helps you get really clear in that place, whether it's listening to a guided meditation like we did here, sitting in quiet, doing it actively during activities in your day, walking outside, but really consciously cultivate times during your day that you really do practice, because it becomes easier for you to be in that state during your other times of day. There's other times of day where it can be harder to stay in those energies. Some of us go to work in workplaces that are not very lifted at all. There's a lot more drama and fear and things, or confusion, or just, it's all about the density experience, and you can't really feel the connection to your authentic nature as readily, but it's there. So you can bring, that's just one example, right? There can be many places that we go that it's easy to disconnect and forget all of what we've been talking about here, meditating and the love and the compassion and living our life that way. So by having intentional practice, it becomes easier to bring that into the experiences during the day that are the tricky ones, the ones that invite us to disconnect more easily. So I do suggest having some type of practice you follow, and it can really be yours and be unique to you. If you're struggling with it or would like some help or pointers, book a discovery session with me. They're free. There are many little consults that we can work through some things and find something that works for you. Just email support@selfascensionstudios.com and we'll set you up. Or find, a resource that resonates for you. Go on a little hunt, go to the library, go online, just start feeling into what connects and resonates for you in terms of meditation or the divine, and just really commit to something that feels beautiful and feels like it helps awaken the love within you, that helps you feel right. The feeling of when we're in the compassion and divine and fifth dimension, when we're truly in our body and loving our body and our life at the same time, That's the gift of self-ascension, and that's the gift of coming home to ourselves. And there is nothing quite like it. And it can take a little practice to move through some discomfort sometimes, or you might even know all of this and still fall back into hypnosis for a while. Forgive yourself. That's a very key point. Is just forgive yourself, being in the present moment with mercy, love, self-compassion, and forgive anything that you feel led you astray from this. We're all doing our best to navigate a lot of complex things being here as humans, and we're all really doing our best. Even those that seem like they're so asleep, that's what they're doing, and see them in their highest potential and bless them and move along your way. That's the compassion meditation. I bless you, I see you, I love you, I honor you. All paths lead to the divine in their own way, and I cannot have judgment about that. So that becomes a really powerful place to live from. So until next week, we're going to be looking at some exciting shows coming up. Not starting quite yet, but you will hear more about that, where we're going to have some guests and good things happening. So stay tuned. Check out, if you enjoyed this show, check out others at selfascensionstudios.com in the archives, or over at Oneness Talk Radio in the archives. Soul Fusion Cafe, I'm Jess Juntunen. We always are bringing new episodes out on Sundays at 4 p.m. Pacific over at Oneness Talk Radio. And you can also find shows at YouTube at the Oneness Talk Radio page. So there's a lot of ways to tune in and listen. Until we have the pleasure of being together again, I just am sending you so much love. Keep shining, keep thriving, and keep on being. Namaste and many blessings. You've been listening to Soul Fusion Cafe with Jess Juntunen. Connect with Jess and learn more at her inspiration hub, selfascensionstudios.com, and over on Instagram at JoyLoveJess and Soul Fusion Cafe Radio, or over at Facebook at Self-Ascension Studios and Soul Fusion Cafe Radio. Thank you for listening. See you next week. Namaste and many blessings.
Oneness Talk Radio. Hip, fresh, fun. Tune in to an honest portal of positivity 24/7. Experience unique talk radio from all around the planet, perfectly mixed with music that enchants your soul. Discover oneness moments as you relax into 3 to 5 minutes of divine inspiration. Claim your oneness today. OnenessTalkRadio.com. One world, one voice. Expand your vision.